We need to do this. All right.
Okay, all right.
So sorry.
I'm sorry. See, we're already talking. You
By the
guys
way-
should have started it.
By the way, all of this has been recorded, so this is where he pulls his intros from.
Okay.
So I hope you didn't say anything bad. Nope. Because he'll use it against you.
He should.
No, not you, Chuck. Only Mark.
Yeah. Actually, they only use it to make fun of me. Well, welcome everyone to the Palm Valley Church podcast, where we invite God into everyday conversations. My name is Mark Rohockey, and today I'm with the legend Chuck Fowler. Chuck, how are you today, sir?
I am doing great.
Man, that's so awesome. I say legend because, you really are. You are our financial peace guru here at our Goodyear campus. And, you're the legend in my mind when it comes to finances. How long have you been here now at Palm Valley Church?
Ooh, I've been going to Palm Valley. I started when it was at Desert Edge, so
Okay.
about 13 years ago. But I was the whole Easter, Christmas kind of guy, maybe 2 weeks here, take a month off or whatever. But as far as regularly, probably for the last 3.5 to 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so you started to lead our financial peace class, a couple years ago now?
It was 2017, the fall of 2017.
Okay.
I went through it myself
Yeah.
this spring with the sole purpose of running because you guys were kind of between financial peace leaders and something I wanted to do. So I took the class and then led it in the fall of 2017.
Yeah. So, this is a weird question, but what excites you about finances?
I'm just passionate about it. I love helping people. I love helping people in general. I just like doing that anyway. But now if you throw the finance part of it on there, it's just like I've always been a numbers guy. And I always like to help people. So I figure, hey, what better thing to do than to help them with their finances?
Oh, yeah.
And just to see them how they progress and feel good about themselves and make progress in their finances.
Right. We've got a finance series coming up here at Palm Valley Church. We're going to work through that. And then we'll have a seminar coming up. And I know currently you're in our financial peace class. You're leading a semester of that right now. We're a few weeks into that. Mm-hmm. What is it about finances, do you think, that polarizes people? There's people like you. You love it. You're excited about it, excited to help people about it. And then there's other people. It's like one of the main things that actually couples get divorced over. So it can be this unbelievably terrible thing as well. What do you think it is about finances that kind of polarizes us?
Well, as far as Dave Ramsey talks about, finances is a leading cause of divorce.
Yeah.
Money problems in general. People fight about money all the time. I don't know. I think just people maybe take it for granted.
Yeah.
You got money coming in and you probably feel like you can spend it any way you want and enjoy yourself, which, and we do need to enjoy, the fruits of our labor. That's what we should do, but you got to be intentional with your money. Yeah. There's a lot of aspects of finances that if you're not taking control of those, you're going to find that things ain't going to work out for you very well in the end.
Yeah. So for you, your entire life, I'm sure you've been perfect at finances, never had an issue, and you're sitting here with probably $10 to $15 million in the bank, something like that is what I'm assuming, right?
No, that's not the case.
Yeah. What's a little bit of your finance journey?
My finance journey.
You don't have to give me specific numbers.
That's okay. Okay. Me and my wife, Karen, who you know, and I love very much. I want to get that in there.
There you go. Good
She's
shout
awesome.
out to Karen.
We've been married 31 years, and
Nice.
pretty much 27 years of those, basically, she did our finances.
Okay.
I was so disconnected that it wasn't funny. I even remember a story probably where she was doing them on the computer one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, I'm checking a bank statement. I'm like, you can do that online? I'm like, that's how disconnected I was.
Yeah.
She did a great job. We never missed any payments. We did have debt. We had card payments. We had credit card payments. And being in the military, because I have a military background, it was a little bit easier because we had housing paid for us. I had medical, so I didn't have any of those types of bills that were coming in. But we had debt, debt, like I said, credit card debt. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until, you remember Susie Orman?
Yeah.
I got on Susie Orman's bandwagon probably, 10, 12 years ago because I was getting older and I'm like, I got to get ready for retirement. And she's really the first one that kind of got me to have a foundation of finances.
Yeah.
And then about 5 years ago, somebody introduced me to Dave Ramsey, somebody at work, and I started to follow him. Susie kind of dropped off the app anyway. And so I've been following Dave Ramsey now for the last 4 or 5 years. But and then I kind of took the bill. I got into Dave Ramsey and I asked Karen, I'm like, hey, you want a break? Because I'd kind of like to take over the finances now.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, okay. But I kind of got a little overzealous, and the first month I did them on my own, I overdrafted twice.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So I got that look. You know the look you get? I know you know because you probably get it quite often. But so I'm like, okay. So we kind of did them together for a little bit there, but now I've been doing the finances ever since, and I'm a nerd. When it comes to numbers and colors and spreadsheets, and I'm a nerd.
What's your advice, though, for couples with finances? Because you said Karen did it for a bit, and then you said you've taken over with that. I'm assuming you don't keep her in the dark, and she at least knows what's going on in this. I mean, what's your advice for couples to be able to handle finances maybe together as a married couple?
Okay, as a married couple.
Yeah.
Because we say couples, there could be couples that are not married, and I'd say right there, you need to keep your finances separate.
Yeah.
Okay? If you're not married, keep your finances separate.
That's great advice right there.
If you are married, they're all one.
Yeah.
And again, I know there's people out there, and I've talked to them like, well, we have our own savings checking accounts. Do what you want, but from my point of view and from Dave Ramsey, what he's going to teach, everything's one.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's a biblical point of view.
It is. And I didn't know the exact verse, so I wasn't going to bring that up, but it is a biblical verse.
The two become one.
Yes.
And I love how everything becomes one together.
Right. And then when they talk about budgets, like when you first get down and you start getting into budgeting and looking at your finances, there's always going to be a nerd, and there's always going to be a free spirit in the family.
Sure.
Sometimes that could be divided between the two, but normally there's one person who's like the nerd. Like in my family, it's me. I like to do all the numbers and all the number crunching, and Karen's like the free spirit. But we kind of overlap in that a little bit. But Dave Ramsey's instructions are: the nerd sets the budget, the free spirit comes to the meeting, and then you guys just kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, like if you was to go to Karen and ask her what we pay for a specific item, she should know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that aspect of it because, some people are like, hey, I'm good with numbers, so I'll just do all the money. And then the other person is completely confused by it. And so I love that piece of it.
Right.
So what's the what's the thought or the advice for the single person? They're just recently graduated college, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what do I do with my money? I have a new income now. I no longer work at Taco Bell. I have an actual job that's going to Taco Bell's a job too. But I have an actual career with a salary and maybe benefits and that type of stuff. And maybe it's a little bit more money that's coming in than they've ever seen before. What's the advice for that person?
I have two pieces of advice for that person. First, go take a financial peace class. That would be number one, because it's a great class. The second thing is, because you don't have that spouse that you can, lean on, you need to find what they call an accountability partner. Whether that's your sister, a sibling, or mom, dad, whatever, but somebody that's not going to say yes every time you want to spend some money.
Yeah.
Somebody that's going to have your best interest in their heart, But and then, just the financial peace class is going to teach you all the stuff you should do to follow the baby steps. But that would be my advice.
Well, what I love about this is all of this is about relationships. This is about, hey, you can't do any of this alone. Even if you're single, this is not a thing you just have to figure out on your own. I love that. Bring somebody in, bring an accountability person in, which could be a scary thing to share your specific, finances is a private matter.
It is a private matter.
That people look at that. But to have such a relationship with great people to say, hey, I'm going to invite you into this private process that I have so that I'm held accountable in that.
Right. And I think initially you're right. People are going to feel uncomfortable. But if they can just think past that and think this is going to be so helpful.
Yeah.
Because doing things on your own, and there's a lot of things in life that we try to do on our own that don't always work out in our best interest. But always having that person you can rely on to help you do that is going to be key. Yeah.
It's going to sound weird, but how important is this? How important is it to manage your money from your perspective?
Extremely important. Again, and let's just go to if somebody wasn't managing their money properly. I mean, they're going to be missing payments, maybe overdrafting their account like I did. Right. Not saving properly, not investing properly. And if you look at long-term, if you don't get a handle on that eventually, you might have to work till you're 70 or 75 years old just to get ahead anymore. And then if you want to throw the component in there of the medical side of it, where it's stress. And again, we talked about divorce and, marriage problems. And it's just you got to have your finances organized. You need to be intentional with your money. You have to know where your money goes at all times.
Yeah. I like how you bring that up because it's our finances and our money really is an emotional connection that we have to a lot of this.
It is.
We see it attached to so much with it. It's why it can create tensions and problems within marriages or with other relationships, or even the single saying, "No, this is mine," and there is such an attachment to it. That God would say, hey, we're actually supposed to surrender all to him.
Because it's his money.
Yeah.
I mean, and we talk about that in financial peace. And a lot of people, even before we kind of go down that road, you see a lot of people in class saying, I kind of realize this isn't my money. Ryan's had people up on stage, that even deliver that type of information, that they finally realize this is not my money to use anyway. So you got to be good stewards of them. It's God's money. We need to be good stewards of that money.
Yeah.
But in the same way, it's also helping us here when you can know where your money's going and be organized.
That's a huge statement. It's not my money. It's God's money.
It is God's money.
How has that changed, I guess, in your life when you came to that realization that your money is not yours, it's God's money? What did that look like? How did that change in your life?
Oh, that's an easy one for me. We used to give to the church, the envelope, we'd stick a little money in there. And it's funny because now I said we've been here 3 or 4 years on a regular basis. As we've increased that, my life has gotten nothing but better. Nothing but better. I mean, I don't even know how to put that into words per se, but it's just like the more I give each year, because I try to increase that every year, it's like just things keep getting better. And I don't think that's coincidence.
Yeah. Like you've seen a change in your life.
Gosh. I didn't think I'd be leading financial peace 4 years ago.
Right.
I mean, this is just insane. I still think of that. I'm like, really? I'm doing this?
Yeah.
Something I love to do, and now they're allowing me to do that? Yeah, I would have never been down that road.
And by change, you mean you've won the lottery and you're a multimillionaire, right?
I don't know if I want to win the lottery. People who win the lottery, it doesn't really work out for them all the time. Maybe give me like a little bit of that money so I can pay off my house. Because then I'll be good. But I don't need a whole lot of money. I'm good with that.
Well, it's so many people that look at it like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll give a little bit back to God so that I get money in return. But what you're saying is, no, God has just blessed me across my entire life.
I should give him money back.
Yeah, because it's another place that I'm just surrendering to God. And,
absolutely.
And all of a sudden I find more purpose. I've found more fulfillment in teaching this class now. And it's almost like God has given me direction of where I'm at and where I'm going. And I haven't had millions of dollars in return. This isn't an investment opportunity. This is purely a stewardship opportunity of understanding, man, this money isn't mine. This is God's.
And something else on that, and I didn't know this until I went through financial peace, but the word tithe means tenth. I did not know that initially. So that's, Dave Ramsey says give a tenth of your income.
Sure.
That's where the word tithe comes from. And that's always should be at the top of your budget. The number one thing on your budget should be your giving.
Yeah.
And again, everybody has their own, opinion on what they want to give or if they give. That's between them and God, in my personal opinion. But that's what we teach in financial peace.
Yeah. Well, it's the fact of the priority in your life. So when I wake up in the morning, my first thought is to my wife sitting next to me. My first thought shouldn't be about, okay, what's all the projects I got to do, or no, my priority should be, where's my wife? Where's my family at? How are they doing? Like that's the priority. And so with our entire lives, it should be our first, including finances, should be about, all right, what's the priority? What dictates everything? Well, God. I follow him. He's the Lord of my life in this. So I love that aspect to say, the start of a budget with finances it's God's. All of this is God's, so I'm going to show that by honoring him first in this. So that's a huge thing. Yeah. So, what's next for you when it comes to finances? Where do you think maybe God is continuing to just direct you financially and what he has for you?
That is a great question. Like I said, I haven't no debt, just my mortgage. So that's what we're working on right now.
Which, by the way, I hear our good friend Austin and our other good friend Chris, who video and audio of this, also don't have debt.
Yeah.
So
and
well done, guys.
Austin's 27-ish.
27,
Chris?
And how old are you, Chris? 23.
Now,
2 young guys in their 20s.
Is everybody out there listening to this?
That's
you
huge.
Can do this. I just think, and we talked about this last night. If you add up all your debt, like all the things that you're paying out monthly, house, car, just think if you had that money at your disposal. I mean, if that doesn't motivate you to get out of debt, you're talking some people probably have $2,000 or $3,000 going out every
Yeah.
month on debt.
Yeah.
Just think if you had that and you didn't have to, you could do whatever you wanted with it.
$150 for a credit card, $250 for a car payment, a loan for whatever you bought, getting your couches paid off. Yeah. All of a
Crazy.
sudden, that adds up. If every month, instead of that money going out, was yours to do something else with, it's huge. So,
And let's be honest, I mean, getting out of debt, and we talked about this last night because that's a lesson that we covered. It's not easy.
yeah. Right.
I mean, I always use the analogy with losing weight.
Yeah.
That's not easy. This concept's simple. You just take in less calories, or burn off more calories than
yeah.
what you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Right.
But the concept's easy. Like spend less than you make. I mean,
Yeah.
It's hard for people to do.
Yeah.
And credit cards are one big reason that is
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to do. And that's why Dave Ramsey suggests you don't have a credit card.
Exactly. So what's next for you, though? What's next financial? Where's God taking you, do you think?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
Right now, again, we're just trying to get our house paid off. I would like to retire. I'm 55 years old. I would like to retire in the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, retire full-time, retire. I'm going to work part-time. That's something I always wanted to do. But, I really haven't set a specific goal other than that right now.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
getting our house paid off, and then everything will kind of fall into place, hopefully, at that point.
Very nice. Now, we've got a budget seminar that's going to be coming up in March. Tell us maybe just a little quick snapshot. Why should people go to it? What can they expect at that?
Well, from my personal opinion, budgeting is the most important financial component of your finances.
Yeah.
Because that kind of gives you a snapshot of where your money's going and what you got to do to get out of debt or whatever it is. So I was part of the one, I think we did one 3 years ago. I was just a volunteer that kind of was helping people out. Other people led it at that point. But we're going to talk a little bit about budgeting and why it's important. We're actually going to illustrate how to fill out a budget on the TV so everybody could kind of follow along and do their budgets. We're going to give everybody a copy of that. And then at the end, we're going to have some of our coordinators, financial peace coordinators, and other volunteers sit with people, answer some questions, go over their budgets, make sure they're on track with how to do a budget. And that's basically going to be the components of the class.
Fantastic. So as we close here, people are listening. What's the one thing you want them to know that you want to challenge them in, encourage them in when it comes to their finances and that? I know it's a loaded question.
Yeah,
There's
that is a
lot
loaded
with it,
question.
but-
Well, I'm going to go back to the budgeting. The big two for me are budget. You got to be intentional with your money, like knowing where it's going. If I ask you a question, how much do you pay for this? You should know.
Yeah.
You should know where that's going. And budgets are a monthly fluid process, remember, too. Everything, because when Christmas comes up, you might want to budget more money toward gifts and then getting out of debt. Those are the top two.
Yeah.
Once those two are done, everything else becomes really, really easy. And I do want to give a shout out to my other coordinators in Financial Peace because it's just not me. Ed Carter, Michelle Ahern, Amanda Lopez, all awesome coordinators, and they do a great job, and we work well together. So I just wanted to make sure I got that in.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I love that aspect. I mean, a budget is that place where we tell our money where to go.
Yep.
And debt is the thing that tells you where to send your money. And so you're right. Eliminate the debt so it stops telling you, and have a budget so that you tell every single dollar where to go.
The borrower is slave to the lender.
Yeah.
Right out of the Bible.
Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely huge. So now I have a little student loan debt. Are you going to help me pay that off is my kind of biggest question that I've got to end this
Why don't
with.
we talk about that offline?
Okay. Yes, I so appreciate that.
That's not a no.
Okay, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm excited. I'm going to end this quickly so we can get to that conversation. Hey, I appreciate you coming on here today. I love hearing from you, and you're passionate about finances. And I know the thing that we are all so thrilled with you here and the team that you lead in that is you're helping making a difference and helping change people's lives and futures when it comes to managing their finances. So we can't thank you enough for doing that. And you do it all as a volunteer. That's what's huge to me. You are literally just living out what God's placed on your heart. So thanks for doing that, man.
I appreciate the opportunity. I'll tell Ryan that when I see him. Thanks for letting me
Yeah.
do that. I mean, it's great. I love to do it, and I'm glad I could help out.
Very cool. Well, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone else for listening. We look forward to hopefully seeing you at our seminar, financial seminar that we will have. So check online on our events page for that. Make sure you continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, and we'll see you either online or at one of our campuses on the weekend. So have a great week, everyone.